Hi everybody, this is King Red from Imperial K9 and I have another video for you. Now this one is going to be very interesting, I promise you. Now in this video I'm going to talk about and I'm going to show you the power of the remote collar training system. The remote collar system is a beautiful system of training for two primary reasons. It's fast and it's practical. Now for the benefit of those that don't know, I specialize in remote collar training. Okay, now I do the other stuff, the positive reinforcement with the treats, but usually when people contact me, they have a serious problem and we have to fix it with the remote collar. So I specialize in remote collar work. Now the dog that I'm going to use for this video is my daughter's Malinois named Poppy. Poppy is a little over 2 years old. He'll be 3 in October. But when we first got Poppy, Poppy was about 1.5 years old. And Poppy, I guess you can classify him as a rescue because Poppy didn't grow up in the best environment. Okay, he didn't have the best upbringing. So as a result of that, he did not receive the benefit of socialization with other people or other dogs. So as a result, he hates most other people and other dogs. Currently, there's only 4 people that he really likes. It's me, my daughter's mom, and my daughter's grandfather. Now the problem with that is my daughter and the rest of her family have gone off on a family vacation this past Friday. So they couldn't leave Poppy at home by himself because he stays outside, right? And he's gotten loose a time or two in the past, and they're going to be gone for about a week, so they don't trust him at home by himself. But the problem is they couldn't board him anywhere because his aggression is too bad. He doesn't like other people and he doesn't like other dogs, so boarding him really wasn't an option. So I had to take care of him. So I went and got him this past Friday. Now that Friday evening, I had Poppy outside to go potty, right? And while he was going potty, I came inside to get my other dog, Leo, my Rottweiler. And because he had to go outside, he had to go potty. So I let Leo outside and he looked over and he saw Poppy and he wanted to go say hello. But Poppy saw him and Poppy didn't like the idea of him coming to say hello. And needless to say, they had a little bit of a scuffle. I don't have any of it on film, thank God, but if I had to give an accurate description of what it looked like to me, the fight probably looked a little bit like this. Horrible, as you can see. Now, Poppy's thing is, if you are another dog and you are within maybe 10, 15 feet around him, he's gonna come and get you. He hates other dogs. But I had to have a little conversation with him about that. And since he hasn't had that issue, now I'm gonna show you the clip from the morning after they had the fight. And this is the way that he acts now. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Pop. boy. Good boy. As you can see, we don't have a problem. You know, he's a little skittish, it seems to be, but I've taken that aggression out of him. You know, he doesn't have it in him anymore to just make a decision to go after another dog that's not physically provoking him. That's what I want. Now, that was Saturday morning. So now this was Sunday. We did more of the same type of work Sunday, and this is the result of that. So as you can see, relatively quickly, they went from wanting to murder each other to watching a movie together. So everything is fine, it's all good. Now, I should also mention this. Poppy was never a house dog, okay? He stays with my daughter's grandfather, okay, in the country, but he stays outside. He was never a house dog. So a lot of this may surprise you by how quickly that this works out. But in addition to his people aggression and his dog aggression, he also has severe food aggression. So I decided to tackle that issue as well. So I brought him in and I decided to feed him. So usually when you get near him, when he starts to eat, he'll start to growl at you. If he's feeling generous, that's all he'll do. He'll just growl at you. If he's pissed off, he'll go after you. He doesn't like anybody around him when he's eating. So we had to have a little conversation about that. And after we talked about it, this is what we got. Boy. Good boy. Back. Good boy. That's a good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. Okay, get food. Good boy. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. So now, in addition to that, a little more time went by. This is the same day. And I'm trying to get him used to being in the house, right? So when I would leave out of that room to go to another room, instinctively he would just follow right behind me. But I don't want him to do that, right? So now I felt it was appropriate to teach him boundaries. So now when I leave out of the room, he's not to follow behind me. He has to stay in the room until I come back. And I did a few sessions of that with him, and this is how that went. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. What? Good boy. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Now, there was something else that I did with him, kind of similar to that, but I don't have any footage of it. But it used to be when I would open a door, he would just run right out of it. So I used the same technique to stop him from running out of a door when the door came open. So now when I open the door, he just sits there until I tell him to leave, which is exactly what I want him to do. Now, the last thing that I taught him was how to go to his crate when he's told. Now, before, you would kind of have to coax him into going into his crate. Like, you have to throw a piece of food in it or, like, throw something in it that he likes. And when he goes in to get it, you have to shut the door behind him before he turns back around and come out, right? But I'm not going to do all that. So, so I just had a little conversation with him about what he needs to do. And now this is what he does. Good boy. Great. Good boy. Come here. Good boy. All right. Great. Boy. Come here. Boy. Good boy. All right. Great. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Now, I should point out the food aggression, the crate training, and the boundary training. This was all done in the same day. He learned these three things in the same day. The aggression training with the other dog, that was Saturday and Sunday. But the other stuff, that was this past Monday. By the time you see this video, it should be Tuesday. So I did this stuff yesterday. But he learned all three of those things in just one day. That is the power and the practicality of the remote collar training system. And as you can see, I can get exactly what I want from him without having to be confrontational with him. See, that's the beautiful part of it. It keeps our relationship intact because he doesn't have a reason to be afraid of me. See, I'm never confrontational with him. So I can explain to him exactly what I want him to do in a language that he can understand it, and we never have a problem. So if you're watching this video and you've had these issues, there is a fix to your problem. The remote collar system will fix all of your problems concerning your dog. I tell my clients all the time, the remote collar is the single greatest investment you will ever make in your dog. It's nothing that you can't do with it. From corrections to obedience training, it's endless what you can do with it. Just make sure you link up with a trainer that is knowledgeable about how the remote collar system works. Unfortunately, there are a lot of professional dog trainers that do not know how to do this stuff. So just make sure you get with someone that is well informed, can give you the necessary information, and knows what they need to know to not harm your dog in using the remote collar system. And for those of you that may be wondering, yes, this system of training can be expensive, but I guarantee you that the rewards will outweigh everything else once you experience it. I guarantee it. Just make sure you get somebody that's not driven by the money, but is driven by the passion of you and your dog having the best relationship that you can possibly have. So for those of you that may be interested, don't hesitate to call. The number is 601-926-2895. Help me help you have a better relationship with your dog. So until next time, Imperial K9.